In this video, we're going to see how to make a good for and against essay. The first thing you have to know is that in this kind of essay, we have to give the two sides of the argument, the pros and the cons, the advantages and the disadvantages. The ideas presented in this essay have to be balanced, okay? You cannot give more ideas in favor and less ideas against. So you have to try to be balanced in that. And then you have to try to be critical with your ideas, okay? And you have to try to be creative as well. Then the structure of this kind of essay has usually 4 paragraphs. An opening, a body paragraph 1, then a body paragraph 2, and a conclusion. Let's see one by one. The first paragraph is usually used to introduce the topic, the controversy, and it has to be neutral. You cannot give your personal opinion here. And remember that you can start this opening paragraph with these three ways. The first one is a thought-provoking question. The second would be a relevant fact or statistic. And the third one would be a quotation from someone who is relevant in the topic that you have to talk about. So let's see an example of a thought-provoking question. For example, should we trust artificial intelligence to make life or death decisions? So with this question, you are trying to catch the reader's attention, and you don't expect an answer here, but you're just making a reflection and you want the reader to think about that. Another way would be to start with this relevant fact. Over 15 billion passwords are currently for sale on the dark web. So this is also thought-provoking. It makes you think about how we can use passwords or the way we use passwords in our daily life. And then the last option would be to use a quotation, which would be, for example, the human spirit must prevail over technology, as Albert Einstein said. And well, these are 3 ways to start the opening. And what about paragraph 1, body paragraph 1? In this paragraph, you have to try to give 2 or 3 strong advantages about the topic you're talking about, and then you have to remember to be specific with some examples. And how can you connect these examples with the ideas? You can start using the usual connector, which would be, for example, one advantage is, or on the one hand. And then if you want to add more ideas or examples, you can say furthermore, in addition, another benefit is. And then in body paragraph 2, you have to give 2 or 3 significant disadvantages about the topic you're writing about, and then remember to include some evidence, some examples. And a usual way to start this paragraph would be on the other hand, but you can use other connectors like however, nevertheless, a major drawback is, and remember to use connectors because they are very, very important to connect the sentences and the paragraphs between them. So how do you write a conclusion? What do you have to write in the conclusion? Remember that in the conclusion you must summarize everything that you have said before. You have to be balanced in that summary as well. And finally, you can give a short personal opinion about the topic that you have been writing about. And then remember that you have to use connectors as well in this conclusion. You can start a conclusion by saying to conclude, to sum up, all things considered, in light of the evidence presented. So these are different connectors to start a conclusion. And here you have an example of of a composition that is a for and against. The title of this composition is Urban Sprawl the Future? And as you can see here, we are starting with a question that makes the reader think. It's the title. It's not in the opening, but you can also write a title. It's optional to write a title in the exam, but if you start your composition with a question as a title, is also a good option. So as you can see here, we have different connectors. The first connector is in purple. As cities become overcrowded and congestion gets worse, there is obviously a need for more space to build. And then here we have another connector in purple, but. And then, of course, at the end of this paragraph, we state that this process has both advantages and disadvantages to show that we're going to talk about the pros and cons. Then in body paragraph 1, what can you see in purple? The first words in purple are the linker on the one hand. Then we have another connector in blue in addition to add another idea. Then we have in green, in this kind of green, we have, for example, another connector. Then we have furthermore. Then we have since, which means because in this case. And then in body paragraph 2, look at the connectors. We have in purple, we have nevertheless, which is the same as however or but. But here we use nevertheless, which makes it more formal. Then we have the connector in green as a result of, then consequently, then moreover, then in order to. So as you can see here, we have a variety of linkers and connectors. And in the conclusion as well, we have the first connector in green in conclusion. Then we have however. We use in my opinion here in yellow to make it clear that it's our opinion. Because in the conclusion we can give our opinion. We must give our opinion in the conclusion. And finally we have the connector in blue, therefore. So here you have an example, and then you can read this example carefully just in the class notes, and you will see how it works.